All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat, and this is 1995 The Roar, channel for the fans, by the fan, restoring the roar. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, man. Let's get these likes and subs up for me. We're at 1,400 subscribers so far. Thank you for that. Let's hit a goal today. Let's go for 1430, huh? That should be easy today. Let's go for 1430 by the end of this live. I greatly appreciate it. All right. Make sure you follow me on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, X, XYZ. Ladies and gentlemen, I come before you bearing bad news, or terrible news, or devastating news, however you want to put it here. Carolina Panthers are down two offensive linemen here, and looks like the season is all but bleak. If you would, in today's poll that I have up here, can the Carolina Panthers season turn around here? Can it be salvaged here? In lieu of two starting offensive linemen going on IR. Let's take a look at exactly what's going on here. Per David New, one of my favorite reporters here from the Charlotte Observer here, said that yesterday Panthers starting right guard Robert Hunt has a torn bicep and will undergo IR surgery. Panthers center Austin Corbett has an MCL sprain, or it looks like a tear here on his left knee, and will go on the IR as well. Wow. More than likely, Kate Mays will step in at center, and Chandler Zavalia will step in at guard. Wow, wow, wow. Man, let's scroll back up and take a look exactly what does that mean far as recovery time. David Newton expounds upon specifically what it takes for Austin Corbett to come back. They're saying it's an injury that is a complete tear of the medial collateral ligament, the MCL, probably the most severe type of injury that could happen as far as that tear. The treatment for a grade 3 MCL injury involves rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Also wearing a hinge brace, crutches, physical therapy. Recovery time for a grade 3 tear can take anywhere from 6 weeks or more with proper treatment. This can be longer if other ligaments more damaged. Surgery is typically needed if tears occur along with other ligaments or if conservative treatment fails to restore knee stability. So let me start off by saying this, man. We've been down this road before. The Carolina Panthers have had probably the most unstable offensive line unit for like the last couple of years. Every year we don't make it through with the same offensive line combination. It's just something that has happened in the Carolinas. When I look at the possibilities of him not undergoing surgery, I don't like it. I don't like it. We've seen this before with Jonathan Brooks. Remember when Jonathan Brooks came in here and they said, well, we're just going to let him come out off that ACL tear out of college. Just going to let him rest for half the season. Then we put him in there. I hate when people minimize. And I'm not saying David Newton did this, but, I think he just kind of just putting out the possibilities of what we can do to kind of help the situation. But I hate when people minimize severe injuries. A grade 3 MCL injury is severe. Obviously, you would like to avoid surgery, but you also, can't rely on ice and compression and healing. And, people don't understand when you're in the trenches, you're playing offensive lineman, we're playing defensive lineman, it takes a lot of exertion on your lower body. Okay? I played offensive lineman, I played defensive lineman. You have to dig in to that ground, dig into that turf, and then you're using your power from your lower body, which translates to upper body strength as well. Okay? So you're feeling that brunt, you're facing another 300-pound guy, 350-pound guy, and he's just as strong as you. You're digging into that ground, you're digging into that turf. So although it may just be a little ice and a little compression here, I don't want to hear that. It's like, dog, it's like you're dancing with the devil. And if you dance with the devil long enough, you're eventually going to get burned here. I would like to sit here and say, a little ice elevation. And again, I'm not no doctor, so don't take my word per se for gold, right? I'm just speculating. I'm just kind of looking at it from my point of view here. I don't like the fact that they're just already, kind of minimizing it here with, Austin Corbett. And, I got to tell you, I don't mean to be mean here, maybe it's time for us to give Cade Mays a try at center anyway, because when it comes to the center play, he has been subpar the first 2 weeks anyway. I don't know what's been going on with him and Bryce with the center exchange, even with the play clock being snapped to like last 5 seconds, just about in 40% of the game last week and the week before. So maybe the best, no, I don't mean that in a mean, but maybe the best thing was for Cade Mays to come in, although I don't really have a whole bunch of confidence in him. He's a backup for a reason, and they didn't have confidence to start him for a reason. So that doesn't necessarily bolster my belief in that offensive line as well. So, anywho, man, prayers up for Austin Corbett. Whatever way that they choose to approach the situation, I hope they do what's best for the player, not what's best for the organization, right? At the end of the day, he's an investment into your organization. He's an investment into you guys. So stop trying to shortcut people and just talk about put some ice and some elevation, man. If that man needs a cleanup, give him a cleanup, okay? Unfortunately, nobody wants to take a $40 million lineman or whatever and have him sit on the sideline for 6 weeks or whatever, or be out for the rest of the year. But we got to start doing what's right by these players, okay? And again, Robert Hunt has a torn bicep, per David Newton here of the Carolina Panthers. He will go on IR. So I don't know if his season is over or he'll be out to the next 4 to 6 weeks here. So I got to ask you guys, man, what do we do, man? What do we do? And is the season over here? I kind of went to sportstrack.com and I wanted to see whether or not there was some offensive linemen available here. So see what they had. I know Brandon Sharif just retired. I know Shaq Mason has just been released by the Texans a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. He was arrested recently with an assault and battery charge there. So is it time for us to get, some old guy to come in here that's been a veteran around the league, maybe for some stability? Because right now, if we're looking at the optics of it, we got Chandler Zavalia and we got Cade Mays at center. I'm not feeling that. Chandler Zavalia was a guy who recently, prior to this season, got his neck broken, if I'm not mistaken. Got his shit cracked. Against the Detroit Lions, you know what I mean? No, I'm not laughing at that, but the Lions did him good, you know what I mean? So, I don't know what to expect, man. I got to tell you, dog, this season could be over. And the sad thing about it is, last year we were probably middle of the road anyway. So a lot of people, when you look at the numbers when it comes to the Carolina Panthers, last year we were a decent offensive line unit, but predominantly we were a run blocking unit. And with us already struggling to run the ball early in the season, it definitely doesn't help to have our best run blocking lineman out for a significant amount of time. And Robert Hunt, I think he graded out like an 88.4, if I'm not mistaken. Probably one of the top 10 best run blocking units and one of the top 10 best run blocking linemen in the league here. So what do we do? Do we go to free agent wire? Do we thug it out here with Zavalia? You know what I mean? You got Cade Mays there, and Brady Christensen as well. Brady Christensen, from what I'm hearing, the fact that they're putting Zavalia in over him lets me know everything I need to know right there. They don't necessarily have the best of faith in him. It's over, y'all. I don't know if you guys were coming here looking for hope or whatever, man. It's over, y'all. The play calling was already limited. The play calling was already selective with these gentlemen in the starting roster, Hunt and Corbett. Now you're taking out two of the best linemen you got, or two of the most reliable linemen you have. And now you're putting them in there with two of the most unstable linemen you got, Mays and Zavalia. I mean, what play calling do you call to keep these guys from getting bull rush? You might as well be dangling meat in front of the linemen now at this point. You know what I mean? You're dangling meat in front of these guys. If I'm a defender coming in from Atlanta, you know what I mean? We got to play the Patriots in a couple of weeks or whoever else, We got the Jets coming in. We got the Dolphins coming in. I mean, what do you do? How do you protect your weakness? It's sad because what was once considered our strength is now our weakness. You got $100 million tied up in the Chuba. I told you guys, do not pay Chuba. Chuba been here 4 years. He been here 4 years. Nigga had 1,000-yard season. All of a sudden, you give him $100 million. Now we can't run the ball. You definitely can't run the ball between. God forbid if you call let me see. If you call a 34 zone read. You know what I mean? You call a 34 zone read between McConu and what's his name? Between Zavala. That ain't gonna go well. I don't know what to do anymore. I mean, what do? You quick screen them to death? You know, at this point in time, I think the only viable solution is Bryce going to have to throw it 55 times a game. Because I don't see us running on nobody. We don't have the weaponry up front to do that. You know, you got Akeem Ekwonu and you got Taylor Moton who are salvageable. They're mid-level tackles in this league, okay? They're not bottom tier. I don't think they're bottom tier. They're mid-level, okay? Somewhere between 15 and probably like 18, somewhere up there, mid-level tackles in this league. I don't know. I have absolutely no answer for you guys. The play calling will change significantly. I know that. It's gonna go from, well, you know, let's try to ingratiate the run to where we're gonna have to throw like 50 plus times. Sad thing about it is when it comes to the weaponry up front, we don't even have the weaponry on the outside. I mean, what you're going to do, force feed T-Mac to death? You could do that. You could force feed the hell out of T-Mac and see how that gets you. It'll work. I mean, for fantasy, I mean, if you got him on the fantasy league, I would imagine that, you know, you're going to have a great day every day. But, you know, I have my zero expectation in Xavier Legette. I see what Dave Canales has said about Legette and not giving up on him. I could care less what David Canales say because my eyeballs say something else. My eyeballs say something else about Legette. My eyeballs said we don't trust you. Until my eyeballs are proven differently, then I ain't got, you know, I ain't got nothing else to go on. You know, it's sad, man. It's really sad. I looked on a betting site here. I'm not going to say the betting site, and I looked at the potential for the Carolina Panthers finishing record. You know, they have odds plus 1,000 or plus 1,100 that the Carolina Panthers win under 2 games. They went under 2 games, dog. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I don't even think we put up a fight against the Saints, man. You know? And here's the caveat to all this. Here's the sad part about all this. You just now opened up the door for Bryce to have a number 1 excuse. If Bryce comes out here and stinks it up and the season is a dud within the next 5 to 6 games, you just open the door for him to say, guess what? And all of you Bryce fans out there, offensive lineman were hurt. He needs another chance. Bryce ain't going nowhere, man. Bryce Young ain't going nowhere, dog. They just literally opened up the door, dog. It's hard to get an accurate assessment when you got an offensive lineman, you know, not having his starters in there. I mean, I'm giving a quarterback his assessment when his offensive linemen are hurt. It's hard to do that, man. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter who's behind it. They're going to struggle. So what do we do, man? Do you write Bryce off and say, well, this season don't count again? I know a lot of you guys like to do that. It don't count. And in theory, I mean, you're not necessarily wrong. You know what I mean? You feel me? You're not necessarily wrong about it, but golly, man. Talk about a rock and a hard place, man. We're really stuck between it, man. We're really stuck in between it, man. And I mean, this defense, shout out to my man. I forget who said that in the chat yesterday. It's a complimentary defense. This defense is not meant to stymie nobody, right? We're not meant to hold nobody to 0. We're not meant to hold nobody to 10 or anything like that. This defense is meant to be complimentary. You give up points, give up 3 here, give up 7 here, give up, you know what I mean, while the offense is still scoring. You know, it's a complimentary defense. It complements the offense that can score, but it's a defense that's meant to hold people to a suitable amount of number, you know, under 17, 20, something like that. You know what I mean? While we're still scoring. Now you see, it's like a train, it's like a trickle-down effect, man. The pressure on the offensive line not being there affects to the defense now. Because you're going to be a lot of 3 and outs. It's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. You know what I mean? At this point, I got to be honest with you. If I'm David Tepper or if I'm Dan Morgan, you got to blow it up, man. Blow it up early. And I know that sucks. I know you don't want to hear that, and I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? But here's the optics of it. If you stick with what you got, you're gonna go down and you're gonna go down and you're gonna lose everything. Because towards the end of the season, when all the other teams are done with their regular season, they're all losing. Now there's more people to the table with more trade offers, right? See, right now there's only like a handful of teams that can say pretty much the season is screwed, right? We're one of them, right? So guess what? When it comes to trading and willing and dealing, look at the Bengals situation with their quarterback. You know what I mean? There's some other teams out there. Look at the Vikings with their quarterback situation. Now is the time to will and deal Bryce. I don't see him as salvageable or beneficial to this team going into next season. I mean, throwing 55 times a game in the losing effort is not productive. It's overly saturated. It screams one-sided and it screams unbalanced. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, while we are at the head of the table when it comes to losing, I'm on the phone with the Bengals. I'm on the phone with the Vikings. Hey, we got somebody for you, man. Send us them draft picks. It sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. But holding on to him, his value is going to decrease. Because come December, there's going to be a lot of other people with losing records, and they're going to have a lot more weapons on their team to offer to other teams. So guess what happened to the Carolina Panthers' initial offer? It drops. See what I'm saying? So and that goes for Derek Brown. That goes for J.C. Horn. I mean, what good is having these guys on our team if we're losing? We got 2 Pro Bowls on this team, and we're losing. Now you take out 2 offensive linemen. We look bad with them in there. Now we're going to look worse with them. With them gone. We got to start thinking about the future, man. I'm past this season, man. I would like to be positive and optimistic and say that it's going to turn around, change is going to come. But my name ain't Otis Redding. I don't think change is going to come. Not this season anyway. I told you guys earlier, man, to lower your expectations. You definitely got to lower your expectations. I told you that. If you watch my videos leading up until this season, lower your expectations. And this is the reason why. I can't necessarily blame the coaches for this, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't blame the players, man. I mean, shit happens, you know, when it comes to injuries and stuff. But, y'all, sad day to be a Panthers fan. Sad day to be a Panthers fan. I got my family members, nigga, said, what's going on in Charlotte? I said, man, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you. I know what I would do. I would blow it up. I would blow it up with the swiftness, you know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion, man, because I don't see it being salvageable here. We can't run the ball. We can't catch the ball. What can we do? And now you're telling me 2 offensive linemen are out? 2 starting offensive linemen? What do we do? What do we do? Let me go to the comment section, see what you guys got. Maybe the answer's in there. Shout out to Bankroll Root. Good morning. He says, to be honest, he can stay. Let him play us to that #1 draft pick, trade back, build up the rest of the team, and bring in competition for Bryce. He's already under contract for next season anyway. I hear that. Shout out to Rock Solid. He said this season counts. He needs to be gone. What do you mean this season counts? This season's cooked, dog. This season over with, man. Season over with, brother. Shout out to Jay the Scorpio. Salute. Big Cat in the chat. Salute to you, brother. Shout out to Josiah. How you doing, brother? He said, we got what we got. I saw week 2 in person. It didn't look like a 300-yard game from Bryce. It felt like we barely touched the ball in the second half. There's the upside. Yeah. I mean, what do we do? What do we do? I don't think it gets any easier from here, y'all. You know what I mean? 2 offensive linemen out. Bryce is who Bryce is. Xavier Legette looks like the bust that I thought he would be. T-Mac is probably the only bright spot. You got 2 defensive stars and Horn and Brown who don't matter because we're still losing. What do we do? Somebody help me out. Do we sit here and ride down to the week 18 with all this talent or whatever we got and then just say, well, we're going to rebuild again next year? Or do we start willing and dealing on niggas? You know what I mean? That's my mindset. Shout out to Vaughn. He said trade Derek Brown. I like that thinking. I would hate to see the brother go. I like the brother personally, but shit, man. I mean, what do? We stuck in purgatory. Feel me? Instead of Drose, he says run the ball because the replacements are not good at pass blocking. They're not good at run blocking either, sir. They're not good at. But I'm telling you what. I promise you, dog. Coming this week, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna come out here, bubble screen. Chuba's gonna have about 10 touches receiving. He's gonna have about 10 catches. Rico Dotto's gonna have about 10 catches. What do we do? I mean, they're not finna drop. They're not finna run that ball. They're not finna run that ball. You know what I mean? What do we do? Stay right there. Shout out to let's see. King Bryce says we paying Brady Christensen $3 million a year just to sit on the bench. To me, that's the biggest concern. That's a great point you brought up, man. Where's Brady Christensen at? I remember at one point he was supposed to be considered a starter. Remember that? You let Zavala beat you out? Last time I checked, Lavalia got his neck cracked. Y'all remember that game in Detroit when them boys cooked him up? Huh? What do we do? Shout out to Brady Christensen. Shout out to Zavalia. See what else we got going up in here. Shout out to Marcos Cash. I've been saying going on 3 years now, Austin Corbett is ground beef. He said his knee is ground beef. Yeah, man. You know, it almost makes us remiss. We really miss what's the old buddy's name? That went to he went back to the Chargers. He went to the Chargers now. Bradley Bozeman, yeah. Shout out to the Bozeman family, beautiful family, man. We should have kept Bozeman up in here. I don't know what that was about or why we let him go, but sure miss him right about now. Shout out to Wallace the drum. He said it ain't over. You tell me why. I don't want to hear it ain't over. I need an explanation. Yeah, I don't want to hear it's not over. I want to hear the explanation behind this. Shout out to Jeremy German. He said it's been about 3 years since I said that. Shout out to Jeremy German. Hope all is well with you, Jeremy. Said what? Whatever you said was wrong, nigga. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, man. Hit the like button, sub up, share, all the other good stuff that you're supposed to do for your content creator. I heard they got this new button called the hype button. Something about hype up your commentator. Hype up your favorite commentator. Shout out to Drose. He said Bozeman didn't like Bryce Young. That's why they got him out of here. Oh, I guess that... I didn't know part of being a football player was liking your quarterback. If that's the case, then a lot of people should have been traded, huh? Yeah. Shout out to Bankroll Reed. He said, I only said that for the reasons you pointed out. With the O-line hampered, all the excuses we didn't give him a fair chance. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Bryce is in the driver's seat right now. Bryce is sitting back laughing. Yeah. Bryce said, oh boy, I got 2 offensive linemen out. That guarantees me another year. That gives him another year guaranteed. Because it's an excuse. By December, you're going to hear, well, this year don't count because Bryce's offensive linemen were hurt. This year don't count because Leggett wasn't catching them. I mean, I don't know what to do no more, man. Let me ask you guys a question. What's your confidence level in Zavalia and Cade Mays? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level in Zavalia and Cade Mays? If I'm not mistaken, Zavalia was supposed to be coming out of college as a pretty good run blocker. Him and Akeem McQuarrie were actually drafted when C-Mac was here. So, you know, I guess the goal was to run the ball heavy. You feel me? So maybe, I guess, you know, maybe we'll go back to that formula, I guess, running on the left side. I don't know, though. I don't know. Shout out to Jeremy. He said they're all going to be going after this year. Shout out to Josiah. He said, I got a 7 level of confidence in Cade Mays. Tim says I got a level of 4 confidence. Shout out to Kim Song. He says Bryce Young made Nick Saban retire. Damn, he ran the goat off? Chris says he has a level 6 confidence in Zavalia and Cade Mays. Drose says 6 turnovers in 2 games. Got to count for something. Yeah. That's the scary part. 6 turnovers in 2 games with your starting lineman in. Now, I'm not the smartest monkey. I mean, the smart. Not the smartest brother in the room here, but tell me this: if 6 turnovers in 2 games with your starters in, does it mean it's gonna get better with backups in or no? Help me out. I'm not smart. Help me out here. 6 turnover 2 game, backups in. Does it gonna get better or is it gonna get worse? Shout out to Jose. Alabama fell off because of Bryce. Yes, sir. Somebody just said that there. Shout out to Tim. At least Cade Mays ain't snapping it over his head. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I felt like him and Corbett wasn't really gelling anyway. You know what I mean? The worst thing they could have done was turn Corbett into a center. The Carolina Panthers so freaking cheap, dog. They're freaking cheap. You know, they went out here, got a center in Bradley Bozeman, and then they had Austin Corbett. And to me, you ask me, that lineup combination was all right. Does anybody regret letting Bozeman go? I like Bozeman. Look like he's doing pretty well out there in San Diego, if I'm not San Diego, but LA, if I'm not mistaken. They're so freaking cheap. Instead of actually buying a real center, they take a used up knee guard and try to turn him into center. Knowing that boy knee made of, like my man said, ground beef. And then the Panthers so cheap. I mean, looks like they're considering trying to rehab that knee injury. He has a grade 3 injury, and niggas talking about put some ice on it. What the fuck? Yeah, just put a little ice on it and elevate it. Man, I'll be offended, man. I know. Where's the NFLPA, dog? Where's the NFLPA at, dog? I know the NFLPA got to be like, God damn, dog, is that legal? That nigga knee hanging on by a thread. You talking about put some ice and elevation on it. Okay. Y'all seen what happened to Jonathan Brooks, right? I think they told him to put ice on it too. But I ain't no official. I ain't got no services or nothing like that. Just a little birdie told me. I think they told him to put ice on it. Now Jonathan Brooks, you know, he is where he is. Okay, I'll leave that right there. Shout out to Jose. I don't trust Cade Mays at center. I don't blame you, nor should you. Shout out to Mr. Unapologetic. Bryce Young is a career backup. Yeah, anywhere else in the NFL except Carolina, he's a career starter. Shout out to Jeremy German. He said Bozeman wasn't hurt, was he? Was hurt, wasn't he? No, I don't think Bozeman was hurt. No, I don't think he was hurt, man. I think he was, very vocal about Bryce Young's development. Yeah, I think that would kind of got him out here, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Jeremy. He said Tylenol and water. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, don't that fix everything? Kool-Aid and a Tylenol. I want to meet these Carolina Panthers trainers and health advisors. You know what I mean? I want to see what their credentials are. You know what I mean? Niggas out here passing out hugs and Tylenol. Here's a hug juice and here's a Tylenol. What's going on with you? Oh, I got an ACL tear. Oh, here's a Huggy juice and here's a Tylenol. Take that and put some ice on your knee. Shout out to the qualified Carolina Panthers medical staff. Shout out to Anthony Woodward. What's your thoughts on this defense? Hey, dog, this defense is a complimentary defense. What I mean by that is they not meant to stop nothing. They just meant to slow shit down. Does that make sense? They just meant to slow stuff down, dog. You know what I mean? So if you were expecting a dominant defense to come in here and just hold niggas to zero and stuff, then, that's not. I understand your frustration. I understand why you be let down. But this defense wasn't meant for that. This defense was meant to slow shit down just enough so your Panthers offense can go out there and score. But that's only if your offense can score. See, the theory was coming into this, look, bring in Nick Scorton, bring in Prince Manley, bring in Pat Jones, bring in Bobby Brown to stop the run, bring in Trevay Wharton, what is his name? Trevor Wharton, don't matter, he ain't doing shit. Bring in Wharton, bring in Derrick Brown, and these guys will slow down the run. Along with Pat Jones, Nick Scorton, and Trevion Wallace, they'll help bring the pass rush, right? The cornerback room still suspect as hell. You know what I mean? Michael Jackson was getting picked on left and right by niggas. You know what I mean? So, in theory, the defense was supposed to come out here and they were supposed to bend a little bit. give up 3 points, give up 7 here, give up 3 here. You know what I mean? Give up 17 points here, 20 points there. But they weren't meant to stop nobody. Now, the compliment to that was your offense had to put up points. While they're slowing you down, while that defense is slowing you down, we're supposed to keep putting up points. But that's not happening. What's happening is the offense is getting stymied, and the defense is out there 100% of the time. This defense can't handle that. This ain't the Baltimore Jets. This ain't the Baltimore Ravens defense. Hell, this ain't the Green Bay Packers defense. The Packers defense look damn good after 2 games. You can leave the Packers defense out there 100 plays out of 100, and them niggas gonna put that beast on you. They're gonna put the beast on you. That defense is built to put the beast on you. No matter how many plays they out there. This defense ain't built to put the beast on shit. You see them niggas, I don't know what these niggas were doing in the offseason. Niggas suck and win. I don't know if these niggas been attrition. Niggas hanging out the cookout too much, man. Niggas just I love DB, boy. I seen that nigga huffing and puffing, boy. The hell y'all doing? I understand y'all out there longer than expected, but you niggas getting paid $100 million. Let's keep this a stack here. You know, I know y'all wasn't meant to be out there that long. I feel you, so I ain't really gonna trip too much, but nigga, you don't forget you's a professional too. Let's keep it a stack. You still a professional. Niggas sucking and jucking. I said, damn, boy. Get that nigga some oxygen ASAP. That nigga Derek Brown like he was about to... And you want to talk about defense, but it's not their fault, man. So I can't make too much fun of them. I ain't gonna make too much fun of them. It's not really their fault, but you know what I mean. Still, nigga, shit. You know what I mean? Shit. You know. Long story short, this defense is a complimentary defense, dog. Nothing more, nothing less. I forget somebody said in the offseason, we brought in a bunch of used backup players from other people's team. Wharton was a backup player. Bobby Brown was a rotational player. He was effective. All these guys were effective, you know, as rotational player, but we're taking somebody else's backups that are rotational players and making them starters. You do the math. You tell me what do you expect. You take rotational niggas and make them starters on a shitty team. I mean, what do you expect? Production? Yeah. I'll wait on that. Yeah. And if you think about the team they came from, look at Bobby Brown. Came from a successful Rams team. Look at Wharton. Came from a successful Chiefs team. They played on teams where their quarterback could actually score. So yeah, their production was higher because they had a quarterback that was scoring. You come over here and now you're asked to be the man. You can't handle it because that's not your MO. It's not your MO. It's not your MO to lead this shit, dog. So man, I don't know, dog. Dog, man, it's screwed, man. Everything's chopped, screwed. If you're new to the channel, man, hit the sub button for me, hit the like button, share, all that good stuff. Shout out to Altark Abraham. How you doing, brother? Put some Robitussin on that knee and get back out there. That's good. Robitussin always cured all. Shout out to the Tussin boys. Yeah. Jose said, I believe they ain't in the weight room at all. Bryce all let alone. Yeah, this team, I don't know, man. I haven't seen it even in the offseason. Man, it just didn't seem like this team was, you know. And this is why I'm not to be a stickler. I hate to go back to the past, but you got to go back to kind of look forward here. Remember when I was telling you guys in the preseason about how sloppy this regime looks? Remember how I was telling you guys in the preseason how these niggas out here looking bad off of 2 series? Remember I tell you how in training camp niggas were getting chopped down? And remember I was telling you that? Y'all remember that? Oh, no. I was just making that up. I made that up. Remember I was telling you how bad and sloppy and ineffective and how unprofessional and how niggas were just going out there for four plays and getting beat up in 4 plays and against the Texans? Remember I told you how that kind of matters? You practice how you play. I mean, you play how you practice. You are what you put on film. If you can't cover the tight end 1 week, they're probably going to attack your ass the next week the same way. If you can't stop the run this week, more than likely the other team. I mean, think about it. It's only logical, right? How would I be? Let's just stay right here. How would I be as an offensive coordinator, right? if I watch the Carolina Panthers on tape, and I see the Carolina Panthers struggling with stopping the run, how stupid would I be to come out here in my game plan the following week against you guys and go against that? If I seen 2 weeks where the Carolina Panthers can't cover the tight end, shout out to Brent Strange, shout out to Trey McBride, and shout out to the backup Kingsley or Kingston or whatever that is. If I seen 2 straight weeks on film, the Carolina Panthers struggle to cover the tight end, what makes you believe the Carolina Falcons not going to come here and throw to the tight end? You will be a stupid offensive coordinator after watching. You are what you put on film. If I see an offensive lineman that can't handle blitz and schemes up front 2 straight weeks in a row, why would I come in here as the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator and go against that? You are what you put on film. You are what you put on film. It's not a cliche. It's not a fallacy. You are that. You are that. Never mind your personal beliefs and opinions and stuff on Bryce Young. And you are what you put on film. I'm going to attack you the same way these other 2 niggas attack you, but I'm going to add a little spice on it. And then I'm going to leave that on tape for my next coordinator to come up against the Patriots, and they're going to see that, and then they're going to change, they're going to attack you the same way, and then they're going to add that spice on it. We should change the Carolina Panthers logo and team name from the Carolina Panthers to the Carolina Everlasts. You guys know what Everlast is? Change this team name from the Carolina Panthers to the Carolina Everlast. Does anybody know what Everlast is? Does anybody know what Everlast make? I got time today. I'm going to wait on you. Do anybody know what Everlast make? Carolina Panther Everlast, or Carolina Everlasts. That's a boxing company. They make punching bags. They make punching bags. Yeah. Because 2 straight weeks, that's what we've been doing. We've been getting our asses punched in. Am I the bad guy for calling it out? Am I the evil man, the hater content creator for calling it out? Or I'm just a nigga with a brain using and contextualizing what he's seeing on film? Maybe I'm that guy. Maybe I'm not so bad after all, huh? Maybe you're not so bad for calling it out, huh? How about that? How about that, huh? Oh, yeah. Woo, shout out to Shelly Long. Somebody put a moderator. Let me put a moderator wrench on Shelly. Hold on, let me put a wrench on you. Girl, what you doing over here with no wrench? Out here all neggy with no wrench on. Let me throw a wrench on you. Hold on. Put that wrench on you, girl. Hold on. Good to see you, honey. Put this wrench on you. You know you're supposed to have a wrench on. Shout out to Ryko. He said, where are all the people that said Bryce taking us to the Super Bowl? They won't be on this channel. I promised you that, huh? Yeah. Shout out to Coop. What's up, Coop? He said Bryce thrives in tempo offense, and it reminds him of the college atmosphere. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to work in the NFL. Yeah. You can't blame the weapons. I mean, shit, T-Mac looking awfully good. Hell, even that young man, Bryson Tremaine. Who's pretty much standing in for, he's standing there for, what's the old buddy name? What's his name? He stay hurt all the time. I can't even remember his name. He was one of my favorite players. What's his name? Damn, what's his name? Holy Cross. I just call him that. He's standing in for Holy Cross. He looked this solid yesterday, a couple days ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out to Nola. You are way more responsible. You're more reasonable than Unc 2020. That dude just said Bryce is going to throw for 35 to 40 touchdowns. I told him to be reasonable, and he blocked me. Ha, ha, ha. You are totally different, dude, in the mindset. Absolutely, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah. You feel welcome to come over here. Yeah. This is not a channel where I'm here to pander to cash apps or here to make anybody believe anything that can be unreasonable. That's not my MO. Yeah, totally different guy. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Yeah, you now belong to me. Shout out to Dead Rabbit. He said, yeah, I'm not going to come in here and tell you 45, 30 touchdowns. That's you know, fairy tale shit, dog. I don't do fairy tales. I'm from the 312, where dreams don't come through and constant. Shout out to my nigga there, man. Shout out to Eli. Week 18, revenge game. We about to go extra hard on y'all for no reason. Yeah, see, a lot of people don't forget. Y'all forget last year when we went to Atlanta You know, Bryce showed out on Atlanta, so a lot of people are going to come in here and say, well, Bryce had 5 total touchdowns. Man, Atlanta finna beat the brakes off of us, dog. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going ahead and pick up the Falcons right now in fantasy football defense. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. 2 backup offensive linemen, a country bumpkin that can't catch, a sus coach. Hell yeah, nigga, we going in. Yeah, they going in on us, dog. They going in on us, dog. Woo, I can't wait. I'm going to make some money off some parlays. I'm in here trying to be objective. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to look at the bright side of our team, trying to give you hope and inspiration. But all they keep doing is just giving me the middle finger, man. It's, you know, it's only so long that you can sit here and say, well, this team is going to turn it around. This team is going to turn it around. This team is going to turn it around. Bryce is going to be good. You guys don't understand, y'all. The last time we made the playoff was 2017. That's, what's that, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 8 years. That's 8 years, dog. 8 years we've been left with the Blues, man. How many more? How many more black features till you're black enough? Ain't that what Kendrick said? How many more black features till you're black enough? How many more dreams and promises till you finally win enough? I don't know what to tell you, dog. I would love to come in here and be saying my quarterback is, you know, I wish I could have a stream where I can come in here and my quarterback was like a Justin Herbert or Josh Allen. I could tell you guys, man, we got a legit chance of winning, and guys, we're gonna play hard. It's like, I don't know, man. I can't do that for you guys, man, because that's not the truth. You know, I'm a man of my word to the best of my abilities, and I hold myself true to my beliefs, right? I like to believe that, you know, reason and logic outweighs fantasies. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that dreams can't come true, man. But, you know, it take a lot of work and dedication and consistency to make them come true. You know? Not sitting back hoping that this quarterback develops, man. I mean, it's 3 years now. It's 3 years and we've seen the same quarterback we've seen the last 3 years in the first 2 games. You do know last year he got off to a similar start, right? The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over again, expecting different results. You do know last year we got off to a similar result, right? We got the similar production. You do know that, right? Oh no, Big Cat, you hate. I'm hating, right? Go look at last year and see how they turned out. I'm just hating though. Shit, what do I know? Shout out to Shelly Long. Steady wrong, steady long. She said they know to sack that quarterback. Absolutely here. Shout out to Jeremy German. Andy Dalton to Cincinnati. Did he get traded? You said are they about to send him there or what? I like Bryce to Cincinnati. That's a better option. How about that? Shout out to Shelly. She said, and the NFC South was trash, and we still couldn't do it at all. Yeah. Think about this, y'all. I want y'all to think about something real quick. Hold on. Think about something. The Carolina Panthers were the first team to rebuild in the NFC South. Let me take you back a little bit. We had Matt Ryan on his last leg. We had Drew Brees on his last leg. Tom Brady was in Tampa Bay. So Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Matt Ryan were all in this division, and they all were winning. The Carolina Panthers at that time were losing bad, and they were always in the top 10 or whatever, yada, yada, yada. The Panthers had the first opportunity to rebuild at the quarterback spot. Think about that, y'all. The Panthers had the first opportunity to build at the quarterback. We had a head start on the Falcons, the Bucks, and the Saints. While they had Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, and we couldn't capitalize. Now the Buccaneers got their quarterback in Baker, which is our former quarterback. The Falcons got their quarterback in Michael Penix. And that guy we got, we're talking about we're going to rebuild. You see how fucked up that is, dog? We had a head start on niggas and couldn't capitalize. we had the cream of the crop. Think about that. We had a chance to get C.J. Stroud. We had a chance to get Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, if we would have waited. We had a head start. We could be owning this division right now. We could be owning this division right now. With that defense on the side of the ball, they're good enough to hold niggas to about 15, 17 points a game. If you get a Michael Penix behind this offense or a Bo Nix or just, well, we own this division. Still, we got Bryce. And I'm getting tired of seeing his little face, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm tired of seeing that little face of his. Very whiny. He been seeing him on the sideline, whiny and naggedy. Even, and no disrespect, shout out to the Carolina Panthers marketing team. I think they do a hell of a job. Even seeing his shit on the promo, man. They have his shit on the promo when it comes to, like, marketing for the game. Like, here come Bryce into the stadium and shit. I'm getting tired of that shit, too. Man. He just looked whiny and just nasally and stuffy. Just, something about that just ticked me off. It screams spoiled little child. I could be off basis here. Maybe I'm off-putting a little bit, but that's my opinion deserved. Start your YouTube channel. You don't like my opinion? You don't like my takes? Start your YouTube channel. But that nigga's a little naggy and I don't like that. Almost like he's a spoiled brat. And if you don't believe, what I'm saying here, go to Tubi, type in quarterback U with Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young and somebody, and watch. You tell me was he spoiled when he coming out of high school. You tell me, because what I seen from that, it let me know everything I need to know about Bryce. Bryce Young in high school was having his daddy on the sideline, crying to his daddy in the middle of a game. I remember they were playing a team out of Maryland, man. It was a team out of Maryland they were playing. And Bryce was having a bad game to start the first half off. And this nigga went to his daddy on the sideline because the coach came on to him and said, man, you're not making the right read. You're not making the right play. He went to the sideline. He was mic'd up, by the way. He was mic'd up. He went to the side. Daddy, they told me I'm not making the right play. I said, whoa. What? And I'm not even capping, dog. I'm not even capping, man. I said, that's our quarterback. That's our quarterback. Shout out to Ryko. He said, if the Saints rebuild before us, that will be sad. Yeah. We'll get ready for it to come. Because the Saints probably going to be up there with us, not number one, number two. They're probably going to grab their quarterback. I don't think Spencer Rattler's the guy. They're probably going to grab their quarterback, and then they'll be the next team to leap over us like jump, man. Shout out to Nola. He says, you're right. I hear you. Shout out to Ryko. He said, Dalton going to trip on his own feet. Shout out to Roshan Hunter. Hey, brother. He said, I'm fed up with Xavier Mingo. Look at, Lord, put hands on him, please. he said he fed up with Xavier Leggett Mingo. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Brother, all we can do is sit back, man, and just put your glasses on and enjoy the show, dog. Xavier Leggett ain't hitting on nothing either, dog. You know what I mean? Another country bumpkin. He too busy making hamburger commercials and Old Spice. FYI, nigga, I'll never rock Old Spice. I'm a Arm & Hammer man. Yeah. You know what I do when I see his Old Spice commercial on my TV? Click. Do not recommend. Click. Fuck, I want to put loser smell on me for. Nigga recommended me Old Spice with Xavier Leggett. Get that loser smell off me. Doop. Just like that, dog. Don't recommend nothing. When I see a Bryce Young commercial, doop. Do not recommend. I don't want none of that. Shout out to who's that? Says I'm a Kool-Aid. Shout out to Water. Water say, oh yeah, Xavier Leggett done for. Dudes need to stop sipping the Kool-Aid. Oh yeah. Shout out to Water. Hey brother, he said Bryce's sunken cost of fallacy for the Panthers at this point. All your investments aren't good ones. And yeah, and that's the truth, to be honest with you fellas. Really at this point, David Tepper is trying to save face, right? David Tepper's a prideful man. David Tepper wants to kind of say, I did this. I brought you guys a winner. I brought you guys a championship, right? That's David Tepper's MO. I brought you, I did it. I made it happen, right? But at some point, you know, and he should know this. I'm actually kind of saddened because he's a businessman. At some point, you got to say, hey, man, this didn't work out. It all happens and it sucks, right? How many times have you invested into something, right? How many times have you invested into something and it didn't work out, but you put your all into it? A lot of you guys put your all into a woman, right? Some of you guys, some of you ladies put your investment into a man, right? You put your investment into a man. Some of you put investment to women. Some of you guys put investment to a business, a car, a project, whatever it may be. You put your investment into it and it just didn't work out. And it sucks. Yeah, it sucks to say, hey, man, I got X amount of dollars into this quarterback over X amount of years. I got X amount of dollars into this relationship. But at the end of the day, dog, it just didn't work out. And I got to cut bait. But I tell you this, the sooner you do that, the better off you are because you can restore and reheal and chase after other ambitions and other projects and other relationships, stuff like that, right? The longer you hold on to something that's invested in, the more money you're going to lose. And David Tepper has to get that through his head. David Tepper has to say, look, you know what I mean? I know I want it to work out as best as I can, but at the end of the day, dog, I'm losing behind this. Well, let me slow down here. Maybe he's not losing. Maybe he's not losing because last time I checked, he made $100 million. He may be losing morale as far as the fan base, but last time I checked, morals don't cash at the bank. So maybe David Tepper just don't give a flying shit. Maybe he don't give a, you know, maybe he don't care. And I blame you guys. Because if you motherfuckers will put your foot down and say, hey, dog, look, I'm not going to these games. I'm not buying no season tickets. I ain't buying no jerseys. I ain't buying no memorabilia. If you start hitting David Tepper in that pocket, he'll start caring about what you got to say. That nigga don't give a shit about what you are, I think. I'm going to be honest with you. He don't care. Because if he cared, Bryce Young wouldn't be on this team. Long as he knows it's a fan base out there. It's a cult-like following for Bryce. It's a bunch of stupid cult-like following for Bryce. No matter what Bryce do, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna ride him, you know, you're gonna be on Bryce's tip. No matter what Bryce do, there's a bunch of you out there. And you're the ones that's filling that $100 million pocket. So I put it to you like this. When the demand for change is not met, then the fuckery will continue. Right? If you're not putting an emphasis on I demand change, and it's kind of like, I hate to be political here, and that's kind of like society as a whole, right? There's certain inequalities that have went on for so long that people have demanded to change, and now you're starting to see that it's starting to affect people's money. Now it's starting to change. Even let's take the marijuana for example. At one point in time, niggas were getting locked up for marijuana heavily and stuff like that, right? To the point to where politicians, you know, kids were going off to college, and it really didn't start to politicians, kids and stuff, and people of influence, kids were going to school smoking, right? You send off your baby girl, you know, your precious little angel, your precious little king, or your prince. You send him off to college. He get caught with a little ounce of weed, and guess what? He's the son of a politician, or she's the son of a politician, and now guess what? Well, you know, weed is not so bad, and guess what? Now the demand for change, you got to change that law. You know, kids are going to be kids. The demand for change is being emphasized. So guess what happens? Now they relax the laws. Well, now let's take back the law. Let's take back the weed law. Same way with the quarterback position and the NFL position and the team like that. If you demand that this product sucks, I demand it change. I will not support it. I demand it change. It got to change. When the demand for change is being pushed, that's when change happens. As long as you're sitting back on YouTube screaming 14-3 and shout out to Jesus Christ or Jesus, yeah. As long as you're sitting back praising mediocre products, there's no need to change. There's no need to change. There's no need to change. So the next time you're crying about ticket sales or when you're crying about Bryce Young, turn to that nigga you see on YouTube or turn to that fan that you see walking up and down the street talking about Bryce is not the problem and all that. You're telling David Tepper that, hey, ain't nothing wrong here, buddy. Keep getting your $100 million and I'll keep taking my 4-win season. Because there's no demand for change. There's no demand for it. You niggas love it. You love it. You love to be screwed over. Why would I go out of my way to fix something when you niggas ain't complaining about it? I get my $100 million off top. Who gives a damn if you niggas win 2 games? I get my $100 million. Who cares if the product's bad on the field? You still gonna buy them jerseys. Who cares if we... That's the problem. It's your fan base. It's the fan base the problem, along with the owner. With the owner and the fan base. You niggas don't demand. You got low self. You niggas got low self. You niggas got Stockholm syndrome. You niggas got Stockholm syndrome, man. You love to get whipped. You love to get whipped. Mm-hmm. Am I lying? You niggas will show up to that hot ass sun in training camp, sit out there, watch that mediocre shit. I'm fat, nigga. Let me tell you something. I'm fat. Me and Heat don't do well, nigga. I'll pass out on your ass. I'm not going to no 90-degree weather to see no fucking slants. Drop balls. If I'm gonna pass out, it's gonna be for a damn championship. I'll stand out in the heat for a championship, nigga. Yeah, I'll faint in them. Oh. I'll faint in that motherfucker for a championship. I swear I would. Oh. You catch me in the lane on top. Oh. Imagine me going to a fucking training camp, 90 degrees, nigga. Nigga throwing slants, incomplete, the 4 wins. Imagine me buying a season ticket for 4 wins and shit. You got to be out your mind. Hell, they had a training camp down here in South Carolina, down here in Clemson. Down here in Clemson a couple was last year or whatever. I stayed about an hour and a half from Clemson, dog. You thought I went out there? I guess I'm gonna be the lone martyr because I'm screaming change gonna come. I ain't finished here and this product I don't subscribe to this product. I don't subscribe to this product, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't subscribe to it. Anybody who been following me, y'all know I had over thousands of dollars of merchandise in this hole. Autographed jerseys and helmets. So I sold everything except things that I got signed in person, right? Like C-Mac signed my jersey in person, DJ Moore, Dante Jackson, and I got a couple other things that they signed in person. That's sentimental to me, right? Because they signed it in person. But anything like I bought online that's autographed, man, I sold all that shit, dog. Got rid of that shit. When you niggas start demanding better, they'll deliver better. That's how it works. Last time they came down to Clemson, they had a fireworks show at the Fan Fest. Remember when they were at Bank of America Stadium, they brought it to Clemson? They said because we're taking the practice from Wofford, we're gonna have Fan Fest in Clemson. David Tepper don't give a fuck about you guys. He don't give. Y'all remember that he let a firecracker off on y'all? Y'all remember that? Remember last year? Niggas can't even get a fireworks show together. You niggas ever been to Honduras? You guys ever been to Honduras? Ask T Money, has he ever been to Honduras? I don't think he has. Anyway, he ain't never been to Honduras. You don't know what one of the world's largest coral reef looks like. But anyway, back to what I was saying was, yeah, dog, look, man, they had a fan fest in Clemson. They were cracking on fireworks on their head. But I guess it's the product you subscribe to. I don't subscribe to it. Let's get back in the comment section. Shout out to Phoenix Elite. How you doing, Phoenix Elite? Excuse next week when Bryce fumbles 2 times in the offensive line. Watch and see. I don't disagree for you. I don't disagree with you. It's going to be a real mess next week. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know if Phoenix, is that a man or a woman? No disrespect. Just want to be accurate there. Shout out to Roshan. He said, change happens when Tepper pockets get affected. Bingo. 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 Yeah. When you start telling David Tepper, I'm not paying for these seats. I'm not buying these jerseys and stuff. I'm not attending these functions. That's when it's going to happen. It's hard for me to give a damn about what you think when I'm making $100 million. See, I'm just one lonely nigga, right? I'm just one lonely nigga that's frustrated. David Tepper can stand to lose one lonely nigga, but he can't lose 100 million of us. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all ain't making enough noise, dog. Shout out to PMP. PMP was talking about doing a march on Main Street. I think that was an admirable cause. You know what I mean? All I was saying, just make sure you got your permits together. David Tepper put that boot on your ass, then that's the only thing I was saying. But I think the heart was in the right place. Absolutely, I think the nigga's heart was in the right place. We gotta let these niggas feel it, dog. You know what I mean? Otherwise, he just gonna keep on putting his crap on the field, and you niggas gonna keep on buying it. Shout out to Jeffrey. He said, crazy that Bryce is the reason other bad performances, then they get the blame. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, man, you're only as good as your quarterback. The quarterback gets the blame just as well as the quarterback gets the praise. That's how it's always been. That's how it's always going to be. When Tom Brady was losing games, Tom Brady got the blame. Tom Brady winning game, Tom Brady got the praise. But it doesn't work like that here in Carolina. When we lose games, Bryce doesn't get the blame. Everybody else gets the blame. When we win a game, Bryce gets the praise. Nobody else gets the praise. See how fucked up that is? It's kind of messed up, huh? In Carolina, only in Carolina. Everywhere else, the quarterback loses, quarterback get the blame. Quarterback win, quarterback get the praise. In Carolina, it doesn't work that way. We lose, everybody gets the blame but the quarterback. Ain't that funny? Stupid stuff. Nigga ain't never been nowhere. Ain't never been to Honduras, nothing like that. Been to Honduras, beautiful, bro. I laid out there on the beach on an all-inclusive resort. Drank till my heart desired. Got to snorkel, see the world's largest coral reef colony. Very beautiful. Had dinner on the beach and drank to my heart. My heart's desire. Shout out to people who travel the world. Shout out to Phoenix. He said, man, bro, laugh out loud mess. Oh, shout out to you, Phoenix. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just trying to be politically correct. Shout out to Shelly. She said last season we didn't go to the $3 game. I highly respect you for that. Yeah. I wouldn't go to a free event for the Carolina Panthers. Shout out to Roshan Hunter. How you doing, brother? He said, if I hear I don't know what happened during the game, I'll have to watch the game film from David Canales one more time at a press conference. I'll need a bye week for me from watching this crap. Absolutely. It's crap. Yeah. I don't listen. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you guys. I don't even watch the press conferences. If I want to be lied to, I don't. If I want to be lied to, I can find somebody else to do. I was gonna say something crazy, but I'm not. If I want to be lied to, I'm not gonna sit here and watch Dave Canales and Bryce Young and stuff. You know what I mean? Those guys are clueless, man. Yeah, we got to look at the film, and yeah, I'm cool. Shout out to NC Light. Jimmy Horn hurt his hamstring. How did he hurt his hamstring? He ain't been in the game. How did Jimmy Horn hurt his hamstring? He ain't been in the game, dog. He hurt it this morning? Shout out to Chef Dickerson. What's up, Chef? He said, so we're not going to even try Hendon Hookerson. Not yet. Hendon Hookerson just got here, dog. What are you going to do for us anyway? Hendon Hookerson will get about 5 games this year. Probably about the final 5 games, they'll put him in there. Let him get, once we're officially knocked out of the playoffs, they'll put him in there. Yeah, Hendon Hookerson new. Let him learn a little bit, and yeah, he'll be all right. Shout out to Chef. Said, yeah, Jimmy Horn hurt. It's gonna be a while. Shout out to Jeffrey Thompson. He said Joe Sean, both XL and Horn Jr. need a quarterback that can throw rockets. Hunter Renfrow routes get hospital balls with 50-50. Yeah, man. Yeah, Hunter Renfrow got single-handedly hurt by Bryce Young. That pass he got thrown to him. Shout out to Jose. You'll see Hooker at the end of the season. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Hooker ain't coming in right now. Hooker can't do nothing for us right now. I mean, if you play Hooker right now, you're essentially just, you're conceding. You know what I mean? Because let's be fair, dog. He hasn't been here long enough to actually understand the intricacies of the playbook. It'll just be a mistake. You feel me? I get you where your heart is. The dude got some talent. But I'd rather him sit on the bench and just kind of, get the playbook here. Maybe we'll see him at the end of the season. Shit. Yeah. All right, man. We're going to get up out of here. Any more questions? Any more concerns? Let me give you my final thought while you guys are thinking of your final questions here. Carolina Panthers, unfortunately, are down 2 starting offensive linemen. And we got a tough task with the Atlanta Falcons coming in this week. That defense looks good, y'all. Looks mad good. I have a hard time believing we'll slow down the Atlanta Falcons pass rush. Not to mention the added fuel from the Georgia Bulldog that we failed to take, Jalen Walker, who's probably going to be coming in piping mad. So it's going to be fun to see how the team counters this pass rush for the Falcons, man. And unfortunately, I don't think so. You are what you put on film. Expect to see some of the similar stunts that the Jaguars and the Cardinals ran successfully. Expect for Carolina to come in here and try to just dink and dunk the hell out of this pass rush. I mean, because at some point in time, you got to draw. Unless they're cool with Bryce throwing the ball 50 times. Maybe the goal is this. Maybe I'm wrong. Help me out here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the goal is for Bryce to get down by 27 again and to niggas to throw screen all day and a prevent defense. Is that the goal? Maybe that's the goal. Oh, that's a great game plan. Long as Bryce throw for 300 yards on 55 attempts. Yeah, so Sunday what you're going to see is Bryce coming here. We're going to get down by 27. The whole second half, the defense is going to play prevent, and we're going to come back and we're going to lose by 5. Sound good to you? Final thought is this, y'all. We're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Hope you guys can swim. Shout out to Don Johnson. He said, that's no joke. Shout out to John Johnson. He says, well, if you lose one more day, you'll have 2.5 chances of making the playoffs. No, sir. We have 0 chances. Roshan says, if someone was fired or released from the Panthers, who do you think it would be first? They're going to probably make Evero the scapegoat. They're probably going to make Evero the scapegoat. Unfortunately, man, I mean, Evero's not really the problem, which is fucking defense being out there 90% of the snaps. It's really not his problem, but, hell of a scapegoat. So, yeah, it probably would be him, unfortunately. Shout out to Miss Rand Douglas. Hey, Mrs. Rand Douglas, how you doing? Horn Jr. is not injured. He just inactive per Chris from Charlotte Vibe. He stated Horn is not active due to being able to play special teams. Well, there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the correction and the clarity. Thank you. Shout out to Chef. He says, I'm okay, but I just like we need him to work on him. I hear that. Shout out to Rock Solid. Hooker will be Bryce 2.3 right now. Yeah, I don't really see Hooker making a splash if we put him out there. It just don't make much sense, right? You know what I mean? I mean, he'll literally be out there freelancing. Maybe that's a good thing. Hell, I don't know. I don't think it will, but maybe I could be wrong. Sometimes when you give people opportunities, they capitalize. So maybe so. Okay. Shout out to MH. He says teams have scouted us. We can't throw deep. Teams don't fear it, and the playbook is limited to screens and BS with a defense that's made to keep teams under 17. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what I'm saying. Ebros could be the scapegoat because our defense is not necessarily meant to destroy anybody. It's just meant to kind of keep people in check. But our offense isn't efficient enough for us to put points up. So my point, what I'm trying to say is the defense looks worse than what it is. Not because it's bad. It's because the offense is not doing its job. It's a complementary defense, right? Y'all in the chat real quick. Help me out here. Because I don't know the NFL like you guys know the NFL. What team right now has a complementary defense that's winning? What team right now, through 2 weeks, has a complementary defense that's winning? And what I mean by complementary, it's a team that's not meant to stop anybody. It's really meant to slow people down enough so their offense can score. Help me out here. Help me out, y'all. What team in the NFL has a complementary defense that's meant to slow people down, not to stop anybody, just to give enough time for the offense to score? Come on. MH says the Eagles. No, I think the Eagles not a complementary. They're aggressive defense. I don't think they're complimentary. Eagles? No, Eagles is not a complimentary defense. They meant to shut niggas down. Buccaneers, good job, Eli. That's a good one. That's a good one, Eli. That's a good one, Eli. Good one. Dallas, shout out to Rock Solid. He said the Bucs and the Rams. Yeah. I gotta give Eli credit first. He said it. Shout out to Chef. Yes, that's right. The Bucs is not meant to stop nobody. It's just meant to slow niggas down. You seen what happened, right? You guys are smart, man. This nigga said the Bengals, man. This nigga said the Bengals. I'm not making fun of you, man, but you're wrong. Shout out to Jay the Scorpion. He said, facts, the press conferences are diabolical and a waste of time. Yeah, don't bother. Shout out to Chef. He says, yo, Dan, they are not fearing the logo. They playing with it. Facts. But yeah, that's a good point. So let me go back to Monday night's football game. Shout out to What's Up, Doug. He said a win Sunday can really turn things around, but it's not looking good right now. Good to see you, brother Myron. Yay, brother. What are you doing, Doug? Good to see you too. Check this out. Let me go back to last night's game. If you watch the Monday night football game with the Buccaneers and the Houston Texans, two really good teams, I believe. Baker was under duress all game long. Baker Mayfield was getting chased up and down that field. So much so to where Mike Evans was eliminated. Derek Stingley was all over Mike Evans. And I took him under on my fantasy. Oh, I took him under on my parlay, by the way. Shout out to DZ and Elaine. Them niggas didn't listen to me. That defense was stymieing this Buccaneers offense. And you know the Buccaneers offense can put up points in a heaping. But likewise, the Buccaneers defense was able to manage C.J. Stroud to keep him under, I think it was like 230 plus yards passing. C.J. Stroud was running for the hills. Now, mind you, Buccaneers defense is not lethal like the Eagles defense. They're not even lethal like a Packers defense how they play in the first game. They're not even lethal like the Eagles or anything like that, right? They're just meant to slow you down to give Baker some more points. It's a very complimentary defense. You know what I mean? They kind of struggle a little bit, but then they do just enough to kind of keep you in check. And all the way up until the fourth quarter here, I think that's the second time that the Texans scored. They scored one time in the first quarter. They didn't score again to the fourth quarter. But the point is, they gave them a chance all game long. You know, after going down the field, they got scored on against Nico Collins in the first quarter. All the way to the fourth quarter, they held the Texans in check. They gave up one touchdown leading to the fourth quarter. They kept them at bay. No pun intended. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers kept them at bay because they gave their quarterback a chance to win the game. And what did Baker do? He won the fucking game. That's called a complimentary defense. It's called a complimentary defense. It's kind of like a yin and yang relationship, right? You do your part, my quarterback does his part. We bend a little bit. We gave up 7 points in the first quarter. We gave up a field goal. That's 10. We held them niggas from first quarter to the fourth quarter without a touchdown. We bend. We bended a little bit. But with the game on the line, we kept it within manageable distance for you to win the game. That's called a complimentary defense. You got a complimentary defense and you got an aggressive defense. Aggressive defense sets the tone from start to finish. You know when you go out there, you're going to, that's the bread and butter to shut you down. The Buccaneers, the Eagles could be considered Eagles can be considered aggressive defense. Hell, even when the Ravens, when they're clicking, they can be considered an aggressive defense. They come to shut you down. If they don't do their job, then more likely you lose. Those are aggressive defense, but the Buccaneers are complementary defense. And when you have a quarterback to complement that defense, it works just fine. The Carolina Panthers have a complementary defense. The only problem is we don't have a fucking quarterback that can do his job. Thank you, guys, man. Hopefully you learned something. You want to know why the defense struggle? Because the quarterback's not doing his part. A lot of you guys think, oh, Bryce Young throwing the ball is only affecting his ability to get it. No. It's like a bicycle chain. This team is structured like a bicycle chain, right? If there's one little chink thrown off the notch of the chain, everything falls apart. That chink is Bryce Young in the chain, in the bicycle chain. If that chink is unknotted, you ever seen a bicycle chain? When everything is linked together, everything goes smoothly. You know what I mean? The front wheel rotates. You know what I mean? The back wheel is pulling along, right? That's what our offensive defense should be like. It should be pulling one along. When that chink is off, shit, it's over, buddy. It's over. It's over, dog. Only way I can see this season turn around is, if this defense start playing like an elite defense. And you're asking a whole hell of a lot for that to happen. You're asking a whole hell of a lot for that to happen. Because this defense not meant to play elite. You know what I mean? You niggas in there asking for a 305 transmission to keep up with a 455 engine. You boys got a 305 V8 engine, 305 V8 transmission bolted up to an old 455 horse. You're going to smoke that thing out. That's what you're asking for. Hey, man, it's just not compatible. You're asking for that defense to play like a 455. Shout out to my big block lovers. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Bass. He said, facts, Rocks, I'm overdue for an Atlanta trip. What you want to come to Atlanta for? Shout out to MH. Defense on the field all the game is bad. Yeah, it's very bad. Not bad meaning bad. I mean bad meaning bad. Yeah. Shout out to Phoenix. He says, Rock, imagine going out there to play defense and constantly getting told you're the problem when Bryce Young is the quarterback. Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Shout out to MH. He said, Big Cat, I love the raw truth. People need to hear this. Man, I'm trying, dog. You know what I mean? I use my tongue as a sword for the evildoers and the tyranny of evil. Yeah, I try to speak the truth, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's perceived that way, you know what I mean? I don't mean no harm. I'm just offering a perspective that most people don't care to hear for, you know what I mean? Don't mean that I'm right, just a different perspective. I appreciate you enjoying that, you know what I mean? My goal is nothing other to do to preach the truth from what I see it from my lens, you know what I mean? You know? I appreciate you, dog. With that being said, y'all, we're going to pull up out this thing. Tune in whenever else I go live, man. I'll be here. Shit, man. I know it's hard. Shout out to my 95ers. Consider subscribing so you can become a 95er, man. On the way to 2,000 subs. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I love you, man. It's going to be all right, y'all. Not being facetious. It's going to be all right. I know it's hard. It's hard for me too, dog. You know what I mean? But keep pounding, man. And shit, man. Let's see what the future holds, man. Enjoy the college football season, right? I don't know, man. Love you guys, man. 95ers, let me hear your roar. Put the pause in the chat real quick. 95ers, let me hear your roar, man. Put the pause up, man. You ever been to Honduras? Ask Devontae he ever been to Honduras. Let me hear your roar real quick. Put them paws in the chat, man. Put the paws up, man. They say I'm too rugged for YouTube. I feel like an old man in this game, dog. You know what I mean? I feel like an old man, you know what I mean? I can't keep up like I used to, you know what I mean? I'm here to give you what I got. I'm giving you the best that I've got. Yeah. I'm here to give you what I got, dog. And I appreciate for whatever love you should show me, man. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Loud Pack. He said this team sucks. Absolutely. All right, man. I'm up out of here. Join me on the Dirty channel for some fun, okay? We about to go live on the Dirty channel. Yeah. Shout out to Damascus Robert.